Hey, great kids, after school and summer camp families. I am so excited to be getting ready to start our 2021 and 2022 after school season. And I want to thank you guys for being patient and waiting for me to get this information out to you. Again, my team and I have been working behind the scenes as we've been finishing up our summer camp. We also have been working behind the scenes to get the finer details of the schools, dismissal times, and this what our program is going to be offering to families in the community. That we're ready to go, guys. We're going to jump right in, and I'm just going to give you the details of what we're going to be doing, what to expect, what our tuition price breakdowns are, when we're going to be open, when we're going to be closed, what the program includes, what's going to happen when the kids come to us, and how our days will go when they're with us, and just over those details, transportation, things like that, guys. So we're going to go through all that during this video. So again, it's going to be a little longer, so just kind of stick with me. Make sure you watch the video so you get all the information that you need coming into the program. All right, so the first thing I want to start with first is to let all the families know that are coming to our program, especially our new families, because we have quite a few new families that are going to be joining us this year, that we are not a licensed daycare, right? We are not a daycare facility. We are what's called a multi-purpose after-school program. So our multi-purpose after-school program means that we run multiple training lessons or classes for the kids when they come to us throughout the week, right? So what we cannot do is there's a program called a single-based program, and that means every day they have to come and do one single activity. And that's not something that I wanted to be able to offer to our families, because I feel that there are so many things that we can offer that can benefit the kids that are coming into our program. So we are going to go under the exemption of what's called a multi-purpose program. And a multi-purpose program, again, as I said, means that we do lessons in different areas of development, right? So we have a martial arts program here at our main campus location here in Liverpool. In Camillus. And then in Liverpool, we have a program called Ninja Tricks, which is a parkour, martial arts, and gymnastics type of program. So that's in our Liverpool location. So that's one of our programs that we use to help your child grow and develop physically, mentally, emotionally, and intellectually, right? So through those vehicles, that's what we use there. The other part of our multi-purpose program is our hip hop dance program that we do. And we run it. We have a really cool person that we follow that helps us with our hip hop dance routines. And we teach the kids these cool hip hop dance routines. And over time, they'll get we have like hip hop dance headbands, and they'll get headbands for every dances that they complete every 3 months. And in our martial arts program, same thing. They will be advancing in our belt levels every 10 to 12 weeks in our martial arts program. And our Ninja Tricks program actually has a ranking system as well, and certain criteria and curriculum that they have to follow to be able to level up in that program. So every program that we have has a leveling up type of program where the kids can kind of see their progress as they're moving through our program during the after school program. The other part of our after-school program that we offer is sports training. So every month, every 6 weeks, we work on a certain sports skill. So maybe to be basketball skills that we're working on, maybe to be baseball skills that we're working on, maybe to be volleyball, maybe to be soccer. And again, these are all indoor type activities that we do. And we don't do the full getting them ready to go play on the team. We just work on the fundamental skills, right? We teach them how to dribble the ball with the right hand, how to switch over dribble with their left hand, how to shoot a basket, how to kick a soccer ball, how to stop a soccer ball, how to throw a football, how to catch a football. These are different kind of fundamental skills that we teach them that will help them in other aspects that they may do in life. So maybe, a kid come and experience what football is like. They go back to school, or they go into their neighborhood, they're playing football with their friends. They actually know how to throw a ball better possibly than what they did before. They know how to catch a ball better, not afraid to catch the ball. So these are all things that we do that are in our program and when we run our program. We also have what we call Kid Cave, or our recreational time. The Kid Cave or recreational time is when we're doing different fun activity games and, team building activities and just fun, just running and just kid-free, having fun type of times too. Again, this won't be every day, but this is part of our multi-purpose program. Because we're running different programs in one, we're running different programs under one roof. This is how it works out. So our program is based in what's called a multi-purpose program, and that gives us the exemption from having to be licensed by New York State. Okay, so now let's get into kind of like the routine of what would happen when the kids come in. So ideally, if we're able to do our after-school pickups and our transportation for you guys, we will try to get the kids here ideally between 3:45 and 4 o'clock. in between that window time is like our goal. When they come in, the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna have what's called their afternoon snack. So everyone needs to send an afternoon snack for the kids, a PM snack for when they come here, they have something to snack on after having such a long day in school. If you don't have an afternoon snack, that's fine. We have a snack shack. In our snack shack, we have chips and cookies and candy and things like that that the kids can purchase anywhere between $1 and $2. We recommend that everyone sends their kid with a water bottle. We have invested in one of the refillable water fountains, filtered water fountains for the kids, so they're not doing the push bar water fountain. When the kids come in, we do have a hand sanitizing station, as well as we do have our temperature check station that they have to do before they come into the facility. Obviously, if their temperature is higher than 100 degrees, we're going to call you. You have to come pick them up. If they're not feeling well, again, this is kind of where we're at right now with everything that's going on with the COVID situation. If they're not feeling well, they're telling us they're complaining about headache, sick, stomach, cough, things like that. We will kind of put them in an isolated space, and then parents, we will call you to come pick them up. But when the kids come in, as I said, they're going to come in, they're going to do the temperature check, they're going to do their hand sanitizer, and then they're all going to have little cubbies. So the cubbies will have their actual name on it. And if you're going to purchase a locker for them for the school year, we actually have lockers as well. Very limited on the locker spaces, but we do have those lockers for you if parents want to do lockers. Ideally, it usually works good for multiple families. If you have a couple kids there in the program, instead of them having a cubby, they just have their own locker, and that's what they're going to use for the school year. But for the most part, if you don't want to use a locker, that's fine. We have a little cubby space, about 16 inches high and squared, that they can stick their backpacks in and their coats and things like that. And we do have coat racks where they can hang the coats up when the wintertime comes. We do have an area where they're going to place their shoes because we don't wear shoes kind of in our after school program here at our main campus. In our Liverpool campus, guys, we're going to have the same type of situation. When you walk into our facility, there's going to be a hand sanitizing station. There's going to be a temperature check when you walk into the facility. Then we're going to escort you guys to where you're going to place your shoes. And then we're also going to take you into your area where you will have your cubbies as well. So again, both locations have a cubby situation. They both have a hand sanitizing situation. They both have a temperature check situation. The layout is just a little bit different between the two locations. But again, our Liverpool campus as well as our Camillus campus both have all these procedures that the kids are going to follow when they come in. As we're going into the school year, everyone will have to wear masks throughout the time they're in our facility. If we go outside, again, just going by what the CDC and Onondaga County Health Department is recommending, when they go outside, they can bring the mask down. Just when they come inside, they got to have them on. Our staff will have them on as well. Throughout our active time and our active moments, we will allow them to bring the mask down, just kind of get a little breath, and then they got to put them back up. Again, this is kind of the state that we're in right now, guys. We're just trying to do our part to make sure we keep everyone safe. Okay, so they've gone through everything they had to do. They've had their snack. After snack, now we're going to go into what our activity is going to be. Now, ideally, our goal is to separate the groups into 3 categories. We're going to have our kindergarten and first grade group. We're going to have our second and third grade group, and we're going to have our fourth and higher. So ideally, when the kids are here, they will not really mix with their groups. The only time that we may have 2 groups that are going at the same time is in our karate class. Is on the kindergarten, the second to third grade and fourth and higher, because martial arts is kind of universal, that those 2 groups, the second and third and fourth and higher, may be doing martial arts together. But our goal is to make sure they won't do hip hop dance together. They'll be in their own group, in their own areas. And then they won't be doing what we call kid cave or activity games. Again, we're going to try to keep those things as separate as possible. When it comes to sports training, same thing. They all will have their own little group that they'll be working with, and they'll be doing their training with in that category. The only time that we'll have the 2 groups together is going to probably be more during our martial arts time. And then again, depending on our numbers that we have in Liverpool, we may have that be the same thing for ninja tricks out in Liverpool, just because the stuff that they're doing, that age category can kind of do it together as opposed to repeating it multiple times in one day, right? So that's kind of how we're going to set that up for that part. But when it comes to like the sports training, or it comes to hip hop dance, we're going to do our very best to separate the kids in that time. Again, 3 groups. We're going to have a kindergarten through first grade, we're going to have a second through third grade, and we're going to have a fourth and higher. Okay, so ideally our goal is at 4:15 to have all of our groups active. active doing some area of whatever their training may be. So maybe we'll have a group doing martial arts, then we'll have another group doing the hip hop dance, we'll have another group maybe doing sports training or doing what we call our kid cave, and then they will be in that area for their actual active time or their training time. So that would be say 4:15 to about 5 o'clock-ish, right? And at 5 o'clock, or as we get closer to 5 o'clock, we'll start bringing all those activities down, and then the kids will go into what we call our quiet time, because our program goes up until 5:30. So the kids will then go into what we call our quiet time. Quiet time, they can do homework, they can read a book, they can color. If we have time, we'll set up Kid Cave where they can do Legos and things of that nature. It's depending as to how the day is going and what we have going on during that time. But at 5 o'clock, ideally, they will be done with their training and their activities that they're doing with us in the main part of our program. And then from 5 to 5:30 is their pickup time. Again, you can have them, you can say, hey, during that time, I want them to do their homework. We want them to be able to color. They can get on their electronics if you have electronics. We do give them that time because that is kind of like their time to kind of decompress, I guess you can say, right? So again, whatever you choose for them to do at that time, you just let us know. We'll make sure our staff is make sure that's happening for them. All right, so guys, now let's get into our tuition, right, and how our program pricing is broken down. So we do our very best to make our program and have affordable program options for families in the community. I personally know that our program is a lot less than some of the other programs that you have availability to. And I also know that we do a lot more. Again, I'm not going to discredit any other program. I just know that what I'm passionate about, what I strive my team to be passionate about, that is the growth and development of the children that we have the opportunity to work with. And because that is our passion and the driving force behind what we do, I know for what we charge a pretty affordable rate, right? A very affordable. I won't say that we're cheap, but I'm going to say that we're affordable in the aspect of what you get from other places that may charge more. They don't give you as much as we're going to give you guys. So with that being said, guys, we have three payment options that you're going to be able to have. We have what we call our VIP option. That is you paying the entire school year off with one payment. And this is the entire after school program. One payment, that one payment be $2,747. So $2,747. That is 15% off of our lowest rate that we give you guys. And that is from our finance price that we're gonna talk about. The next program price that we have, guys, this is our finance price. This finance price, it is $77 a week. That covers the entire school year, and it's budgeted out and it's financed over 42 weeks. So what that means is we're taking the regular base program that we have, right? So let's say our regular base program, if we were to take a bulk program, what it would be if you were just buying week to week, which we'll get into that in one moment. If you're buying a week to week program, it is $107 a week, right? Our finance option, if you're gonna finance it over 42 weeks, this is the entire school year, over 42 weeks, it is $77 a week. Now, when we say finance parents, this is what we're doing for you guys. We are taking a chunk off of what we feel our price of our program should be. We're giving you a discounted rate if you take that payments and those payments and you spread them out over 42 weeks, right? So what that means is it is not a week-to-week type of program. So it's not, hey, we're not going to be here this week, do I have to pay? It's just like you were to go to get a loan or you get a car or anything of that nature. We're allowing you to finance the actual rate for the entire school year, the after school program entire school year, over the 42 payments. So again, if they don't attend the program, if they're not coming to the program, if they're out from the program, this program will not be frozen and the payments will not be frozen because it's a guaranteed locked in rate for you guys over the 42 weeks. This is the finance option, and there is no interest, there is no processing fees or anything of that nature. We just set up for you guys, and it's going to come out every week, the Friday before the school year, before the after school program starts, or the week before it starts. So that's how that program sets up. So we have a VIP where you can pay it off up front. We only have about 5 or 6 of those that we're going to do for the school year, guys. Then we have what's most common, and most families do this one because it's the easiest one and it saves them a lot more money. It is the $77 a week after school program. And again, our after school program is based on the time that the kids are in school when they're in school, they come to us after school. That is what the after school program is based on, and that's the program that it's based on. So the entire school year after school program finance is about $77 a week. Now, if you're a parent that just says, hey, you know what, we only want to do a couple weeks, and then they're going to do a couple weeks at another program, they're going to do a couple weeks over here, that's fine as well. That program price is $107 a week. And again, this is what we call our month-to-month. So we're just looking for you to commit to 4 weeks in a block. So 4 weeks of a block. And then if you go to another 4 weeks, it got to be a 4-week block. And that's how we have to set it up. And that's only because if you are someone that's in our transportation rotation and you need our transportation, then we need to make sure that we have that seat secured at least for the 4 weeks. And then we have to replace you. We can replace you with someone else after that. So that's the 3 payment options. You have a paid in full. You have a finance option where you take the entire school year based at $77 a week, and you just pay that over the 42 weeks of the school year. So again, that means if they are not coming to a camp, if they're not coming to the program, if they're out from being sick, that program still will have to be paid, right? So that's part of the finance program. That's why it is so discounted from what our regular weekly rate would be, which is $107. So that is your options on your payment options, guys. And I just want to make sure I emphasize just kind of what the programs are and what they actually mean, right? So when you go to and you get our actual complete registration form and you read it, I want you to make sure you understand what you're reading. So when you agree to do this or you agree to do that, this is what you're agreeing to. This is what we all say that we're going to do. And again, we always work at the highest level of integrity that we possibly can. Okay. So now let's talk about what the after school program does not include. So our after school program does not include our day camps, right? So the day camps, it's like Columbus Day, Veterans Day. We have a day camp the day before Thanksgiving. We're closed usually Thursday and Friday of Thanksgiving, as most places are. During Christmas break, we're closed Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. But in between those times, we have a day camp that goes on like a week camp. Then there's the February midwinter break camp. We have a camp that goes on during that time. We have Martin Luther Day camp. We also have spring break camp as well. So all those camps are when those kids are not in school, right? So that's not included in our after school program. As I said earlier, the after school program is based on when the kids are in school, they come to us after they're done with school. That is the after school program. So if they're not in school, that program that we run, whether it be our week camp or our day camp or whatever the program may be, there is an additional fee for that. Now, because you are in our after school program, you will pay 50%, you will get 50% off of whatever that tuition rate is for that day. So let's say our day camp is normally $47, you guys will pay like $23.50, right? If our spring break camp is $197, you guys will pay half of that, right? So, but that's for the actual week, not the after school program. You still will have, if you chose to do the finance option on the after school program, if you chose to do that option, you still will have that weekly tuition coming out because that's part of that program. That's what you're paying off as the after school program, not the week camp as well, okay? So I just wanna make sure that's very clear, that everyone understands that process and how that works. So when we have those camps, guys, that's how it's gonna work. You gotta register for them, you gotta sign up for them. If you choose not to come, that's fine as well. And again, we usually sell out most of these camps anyway. So if you guys are gonna do it, you wanna make sure that when we get the information out to you, that you sign up right away, because again, once we get it to the public, it always it blows up and it sells out. And we have a lot of parents that come after us saying, hey, can we get in? And we don't have any spaces for them. So again, just something you just wanna kind of keep in the back of your head as you know moving forward how we do the camps and the days the kids are out of school. So now let's talk about teacher days and half days. So if there's a teacher day or teacher conference or professional development for the teachers, we need to know at least 2 weeks in advance so we can plan our staff to be around, right? So if they schedule it like the day before and we don't hear about it, we can't accommodate because I have to have staff here, right? So I got to make sure that we have that in place. And sometimes the professional development days for schools are different, right? So maybe West Hill may have one on one day, Liverpool may have one on another day, and then West Tennessee may, so it may be different. So we just got to have a little bit of notice. And we ask parents that are in our program that know that they're going to need our service that you give us a heads up so we can plan for it. But if there is a teacher conference professional day, we need to know so we can plan our staff for it. The teacher conference days, I believe those are half of what a camp day would be. So if it was a full day off, it'd be like $27 or something like that, 25, whatever, like 20, whatever, $47 off, 50% of that. So it'd be like $20, $23, something like that, right? If it is a half day, which means we're gonna go pick the kids up and then bring them back to our program, that program price is about $15 for any half days that we have to go pick up and bring back. Again, we just gotta make sure we know in advance so we can let our staff know, and we can make sure that if we're going to be providing transportation, that we're able to get out and reach the kids in time. Okay, so that's how that works for when they have those professional development days, kind of like the odd days that they just kind of have off that, sometimes surprise you as parents as well, right? So when those things come up, that's kind of how we'll have our program up for you guys. The next thing is snow days. So in the past, what I would do is we would really, really try to open up for you guys on snow days. But what we're finding is that, for my staff or for myself, when a snow day is bad and they close the school, it's usually bad for us too, right? So we found it to be kind of hard for us to have a snow day, right? And the parents and you as parents, you have to be to work by 8:30, 8 o'clock, things of that nature, whatever those times may be. But we can't even get ourselves digged out and be here safely in time to be able to open up for you guys. So what I've decided is that when there's a snow day for our main schools, which is Western Tennessee, and we're going to use Western Tennessee. If Western Tennessee or West Hill has a main snow day, we will shut down. And again, it'll be the same thing for Liverpool. Liverpool has a snow day, and the main snow they have to shut down. We will shut down. If they don't shut down, if they do shut down, but they shut down for consecutive days, so like 2 days in a row, we will open up on that second day for you guys, okay? So don't feel like if they're shut down 2 days in a row that you're gonna miss out. We will be there on that second day because we will have time to be able to clear ourselves out and get ourselves there safely. Okay, so that's how the snow days work for us. That's how our parent-teacher conference days work, as well as our half days.